Disney villains make for amazing Dungeons & Dragons villains. Look at Wish, King Magnifico. This is one of my favorite to use in Dungeons & Dragons because it's a great inspiration. But how does that work? Let's take a look at King Magnifico and how we could apply him to D&D. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. The first thing about King Magnifico in Wish is to look at how this villain works. In fact, it's a great campaign setting or even for an NPC. King Magnifico, when someone comes to age in his kingdom, they willingly give up their greatest heart's desire, their biggest wish they have, over to King Magnifico, which then over the course of their life, he determines if he's going to grant that wish or not, making it come true. In turn, collecting an entire kingdom's worth of wishes. Now, what that value is depends on what a wish is worth in your D&D campaign. Now, the thing is King Magnifico can grant these wishes, which is not too far off from what's available or capable in Dungeons & Dragons. That could be a devil. It could be someone that made, an agreement with the devil. It could be a very powerful wizard, powerful sorcerer, or someone that happens to just have a magical affinity for wishes. There's 1,000 things that this could be. Now, in King Magnifico, it's a wizard that has learned how to harness the power of people's wishes. The thing about this is when someone willingly gives up their wish, they don't remember what it is. They have no recollection of it. So therefore, no one's sad if their wish never comes true. And in turn, they are ecstatic for the people around them and themselves when they are granted their wish. But the thing is King Magnifico gets to decide which wishes actually come true. He benefits his kingdom by granting wishes for those that wish the kingdom well, whose wishes would benefit the kingdom, which is fantastic. But he also determines what's harmful and what's not for his kingdom. And in turn, which is where the dynamic comes in. Now, if you're going to use King Magnifico for Disney as a villain, he doesn't have to start off as a villain. That's the main thing I like about this. Imagine the players come in and they figure out what's happening, but the kingdom is thriving, the people are prospering. Maybe they don't think it's that bad of a thing. Magnifico could be a resource who has this power. What happens in Wish is the corruption of that power. King Magnifico starts using the wishes to advance his own power, and power corrupts. Therefore, going after the people that then oppose him and using those wishes to then power that. And so that's where the difference comes in, is that when you have an NPC that has a massive amount of power, that NPC can either go good or bad depending on the player's interactions. King Magnifico doesn't have to be a villain. He could be something that just does something questionable that everyone has willingly given away and bought into. But the moment he starts corrupting and using that power to start pushing himself outward, that's where things change. Or maybe a devil finds out that King Magnifico is hoarding these wishes and makes a deal with him. So then those wishes are now no longer under his safekeeping, but he's giving those wishes to the devil in order to gain something for himself. Or maybe he has the agreement with the devil to begin with, and the devil comes to collect. He's left him alone for 100 years, gave him eternal life, but now it's time for payback. And so King Magnifico could even be the person asking for help. I have all these people's wishes, but the devil wants them. So it's a better campaign than it is a villain. But what if we wanted to use King Magnifico as just the villain? Well, then we allow those wishes to corrupt him. We allow him to start gaining things for his own power, start putting his people at risk. That's where things change. When all of a sudden the bad guy starts outwardly affecting the world, the players have something to actively go against. Or if you know your players well enough and you know that by taking away people's free will, that's going to light a fire under them, you use that instead. That's one of the best parts about King Magnifico, is he does walk that fine line between villain and good guy. Now, when it comes to the Disney movie, King Magnifico in Wish, he's absolutely the bad guy, because they do the whole cackling and they turn everything green and they make it clear that he is the bad guy and he is determining whose wishes come true and not being willing to give them back. And he is the dictator, which is great. But under certain circumstances, those people could be willingly giving up their wishes and everyone is happy and the kingdom is prospering and thriving. So what happens when those wishes are granted? What happens when the players destroy the villain and everyone's wishes automatically come true because they weren't being safe kept? There's all sorts of things that can happen if this villain is defeated that are not clear cut, which makes it really fun. So I love King Magnifico in Disney's Wish for a couple of reasons as a D&D villain. Number one, he's taking people's wishes, right? He's gaining power by people willingly giving something up. There's gray in this area. He's not clear-cut bad or good. 3, at first he's not using those wishes for his personal power. But what happens when he does? How far does it corrupt him? How much power does he want? Does he want to start conquering more kingdoms to get more wishes and institute the law of giving up your wish? Do they extract wishes from those people that don't want to give them up? How far does it push it where you're not allowed to have your own wishes, your own dreams and desires? There's so much room for a character like King Magnifico in Dungeons & Dragons. I encourage you to use them. Remember, when you're looking for inspiration from villains, they can come from movies, they can come from real life, but a lot of times, Disney's got some really good villains. I encourage you to look into it. And thank you very much for joining us today. As always, like, subscribe, comment below, help us grow this channel, share. If you want more content, help us grow Hero Soul, which is a new Creative Commons license based upon D&D game that we are going to be creating, as well as we have adventures on our Patreon for free. So if you need levels 1 through 4 adventures, we've got 3 posted up for any members on our Patreon. They are 100% free. And we've got more stuff coming as we grow. So help us grow the channel, and we'll see you guys when? Next time.